Hey everyone, it's Jake Templeton here, Paralympic swimmer. This week for my video on exercises at home with your own equipment is done so with a broom or a barbell. So here I've got a broom, I actually don't have a barbell. And the first exercise, we're going to be lying on our front, keeping the whole body is still, bracing the core and glutes, and just lifting the shoulders in something called combined elevation. So we're trying to keep the arms straight and we're trying to lift the barbell or the broom as high as you can. So you're going to be engaging your shoulder muscles, your posterior muscles, and we're going to be doing each exercise for 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So there's got to be 9 rounds, which means that we'll go for 6 minutes. You can repeat it 3 times, which will get you to your 18 minutes if you desire. The second exercise here is an overhead squat. So holding your piece of equipment, whatever it may be, overhead, we're just going to be squatting down, and this is quite hard. It'll be a challenge through your back. For me, I have very tight calves and anterior lower limb muscles, so I usually use blocks when I do squats, but here I'm not actually doing that. But one thing you do want to try and keep is that straight line from your buttocks up until the implement that you're using. So the third exercise, we're going to be on the ground, and with this week, I assume that most people at home probably won't have a barbell, so using something such as a broom is completely fine. And I did get a workout from actually using this. So the third exercise is a core routine here, which we've got, I'm going to call it the double dead bug. Usually a dead bug is alternating arm and leg, but here we just want to brace the core and extend the arms and legs out. So all of these exercises, although yes they are for strength, conditioning, general fitness, I have related them to swimming. And once again, in swimming, you want to try and maintain that really strong core, glutes and your body alignment, because when you're in the water you want to try and rotate around your spine. You want to try and maintain that very straight line in the pool. So most of these exercises are for that. For this one, probably do this before you jump in the pool just to activate the upper body. So this is just an overhead press. If you're in the gym, you could do it with the dumbbells, barbells, but even with the broom that I've got here, which is, yes, like I said, it's probably something that most people will have lying around the home. You can use that obviously as well. So 30 seconds here, you just want to brace the core. You want to try and lower it down to roughly your chin area, and then just trying to keep that forearm nice and neutral, and your wrists as you press up here. So that was exercise number 4. We got 5 to go. As I said, you could do this before you get in the pool. It would be a good activation before getting in the pool, especially this one here, which is very swimming specific. So starting with the bar or the broom or stick or whatever you have overhead, arms straight, you want to keep that upper part of your arm, so from your shoulder to your elbow, as still as possible, like I have right here. So keep that elbow in the same position, and you want to move your forearm around your elbow. So when you're swimming freestyle in particular, among other strokes, you use that forearm to engage the catch. That's the first part of your movement when you do your freestyle or other strokes there as well. So you do that movement, and then you engage your lats, and then you start to pull. So this one's probably specific for backstroke, also freestyle as well. So holding the bar or pole or whatever it is out in front, you want to keep your hips still, keep your toes facing forwards, and you want to rotate around your spine. So one at a time, you want to keep one arm on the pole, whatever it is, and rotate around that. But one thing for sure, you want to keep your hips facing forwards and your toes as well. So just rotating each side, you could do 3 each side and then swap or whatever it is, but 30 seconds there. So next exercise, just a few more to go now guys. We're going to be going into an overhead lunge. So this one's important just to warm up the legs before you get in the pool. You always want to be warm. You always want to activate everything before you get into the pool, or you can use this one as part of your strength and conditioning. So as demonstrated in the first few reps, I would lift the pole or bar or broom on as I would do the lunge. For the last few lunges here, I've just got the bar overhead for all reps. So you want to try and keep that upper body still, and it's using the legs here. And it's the same when you do your swimming. You want to maintain that core and glute control all the way through your swimming. You never want to let it slacken off, because at that point in time you'll be snaking through the water. You'll lose that connection when you try and catch the water as well. So these last two are particularly for that type of for what I just said, just for that control as well. So this one, you want to try and lift as much quad off the ground as you can. You want to point your toes and kick whilst maintaining that overhead streamline position. You can keep your arms wider, that would make it easier. You can bring them together more into a streamline, which would make it harder. And for the last exercise, we've got one to go, guys. This is going to be the same thing but on our backs. So this is probably going to be a bit more core. The last one was a bit more glutes and shoulders. And this one we're going to be pointing the toes. This will engage the core a little bit more than you think. And you want to try and keep the shoulders off the ground as well. I'm moving a little bit there because the broom keeps touching the ground. But you want to try and keep the shoulders off the ground, so the forearms and elbows off the ground there as well. So see how I'm nice and flat. That's the way you want to be in the water while you're swimming. But all of these exercises, again, are great for keeping that core nice and strong for whatever you're doing. You want to try and maintain a strong core in anything you do, really. So thanks for that, guys. I'll ask later in the week for what you want next, but that's this week's version.